Hi guys, Autumn here today for my week 3 and week 4 of July weekly wrap up. I read a total of, I don't even know, 15-ish books, let's say, maybe 16. I don't really know, but I read a lot. So yes, but before I talk about the books I read, I do want to say something. Um, I did participate in the reading rush, and then last night about 8:30, I read some comments on Twitter. I didn't actually watch the live show, but some things the host didn't sit with me very well. So I'm not going to participate in the reading rush anymore. Um, I don't even know if my day 4 through 7 vlog will be out, if I'm going to do that anymore, because I didn't really vlog those last days. So yes, if you still want that, let me know. I'll edit it and post it. But just something that they didn't sit with me very well. So this was the last year I'm going to participate in the reading rush. So I will mention what I read during the reading rush week, but I probably won't say um, if what challenge it completed or anything like that. I'll just talk about the books I read. And yeah, but I did want to mention that before I started this. And yeah, so I'm going to talk about the 4 books I read in the 3rd week of July. Um, the This is not the first one I read, but I'm going to talk about this one first, which is The White Swipe by Alisha Rai. This was the first book by this author that I've read. I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. I listened to this on audio from my library. This is book 1 in the Modern Love series. And this follows Rihanna and Samson. And Rihanna is a app developer of a dating app, and Samson and her have a one-night stand, and it turns out that Samson is the new PR. I'm not going to say PR, but like the face of a company that Rihanna is trying to buy. And it's their story. 4 out of 5 stars. It's really cute, and I enjoyed it. And I'm excited to read more by Alisha Rai. I should also mention, I'm sorry if you could hear my fan in the background. You're just going to have to deal with it because it's 91 degrees today. So it's really hot, and we don't have AC in the house. So I'm just living with my fan. So if you hear that, I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. It's keeping me cool. But then I reread Enchant by Macaulay Smeltzer. This is the first book in the Enchanted series. I gave this 5 out of 5 stars. This was my 3rd time rereading this book. And this met for Pop Culture Readathon and Romanceopoly. This is a chosen one trope. This follows Mara, who discovers she is actually a witch, and Theo, who is her protector. I gave this 5 out of 5 stars, really enjoyed it. And then I read the second book, which is the last Macaulay Smeltzer book that I had left to read. I finally read it. It's been on my shelf since 2017, I think, when this came out. Let's go. 18. So, 2 years. I've been meaning to read this. I just didn't want to read this because this one ends in a cliffhanger, and this one not really ends with a cliffhanger. It does a little bit, but it's not like bad. Because the third one hasn't been written yet, and I don't know when that one will be out. And I'm one of the people that like to read completed series before I start a series, unless I know it's gonna be like standalone series, or the next ones are gonna come out soon. So yes, I gave this 5 out of 5 stars. This picks up right where Enchant leaves off, and it follows Myra and Mora and her friends, and I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. This also meant for the Pop Culture Readathon and the Sun Pack on Romanceopoly for library. I should mention this was, I don't remember what this one was, but it was for the Chosen One. And then finally that week I read Man of the Mountain by Frankie Love. This is the Reading Romance podcast for that week. First book by author, I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. This follows Katie and Cutler, and Cutter, it looks like an L, it's Cutter, finds a baby. He is like a ranger, and he finds a baby, and then he calls social services, and Katie is the social worker, and it's their story. I enjoyed it. And then now on to the 4th week. The first book I read was Until Kobe by Aurora Rose Reynolds. This was a reread. I gave this 5 out of 5 stars. This is book 7 in the Until Him, Until Her series. I gave this 5 out of 5 stars, as I said, and this follows Hardly and Kobe, and I really enjoyed it. Aurora Rose Reynolds is one of my favorite authors. I talk about her a lot. She writes really good alpha male romance, suspense books. So, yes. And then I read The Duff by Cody Keflinger. I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. Yes, 4 out of 5 stars. This is book 1 in the Hamilton High series. This is the first book by Cody Keflinger I've read. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. Listen to this on audio, and yeah, I enjoyed it. It follows Bianca, who one night goes to a party and she runs into the popular player at her school, and he calls her a Duff, which stands for designated ugly fat friend, and it's her trying to be like, I'm not the Duff, and it's her journey. I liked it. And then I read Talking as Fast as I Can by Lauren Graham. I listened to this on audio. I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. First book by the author, and this pretty much follows Lauren Graham talking about her days before Gilmore Girls, and then her days during Gilmore Girls, and then what it was like to be come back to Gilmore Girls for the 4 seasons. And I really enjoyed it. And then I talk about those. And then I read Quarter Miles by Denby Perry. This is the 3rd or 4th book. No, this is the 3rd book in the Runaway series. This follows Catherine and Cash. This is a friends to lovers book. I gave this 5 out of 5 stars. This came out on the 21st of July, and really, really liked it. This is a series that you don't have to necessarily, they're like standalone series, but it's good to read in order. This series follows a group of runaways who lived in a junkyard in Temecula, California, which is near and dear to my heart because I lived there for 8 years. And so, like, it's good to see that mentioned in a book. So, yes. But as I said, it's a group of runaways, and it's their story a few years later, how they're doing, and yes. So this one follows Catherine and Cash, and she is a hotel manager or bread and breakfast manager in Montana, and she decides to meet up with one of the runaways and drive down to, I think it's Oregon. I'm pretty sure it's Oregon, and she takes a little road trip, and Cash crashes the road trip. And I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. And then I reread Until December by Aurora Rhodes Reynolds. I'm so sorry that the glare is bad. Let's try to fix. But anyways, that is book 8 in the Until Him Until Her series. And I gave this 5 out of 5 stars. This follows December and Garth. Garth is a single dad of 2 boys, and they meet at Kobe's and Harley's wedding, and it's their story. 5 out of 5 stars. And then I read Just Call Me Maybe, Baby, by Hope Ford. This is the Read Me Romance podcast for week 4 of July. I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. This follows Emily, who is a sex phone operator, and Owen, who is calls one night, and then the next day he buys the company because he wants to learn more about Emily, and I enjoyed it. 4 out of 5 stars, and yeah. Alpha Instant Love. If you're a fan, check it out. And then I read A Place in the Sun by R.S. Gray. I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. I listened to this on audio. This is a spin-off of one of her other series, which is like the Olympic series. This follows a sister of one of the characters. This follows Georgie, who doesn't have much going on in her life, and she one day spins a globe and it lands on Italy, so she decides to go to Italy, and there she meets Gianluca. I'm just gonna call him Luca, and it's their story. I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. It was cute, fun read. And then finally, well, not finally, because I have 2 more physical books to talk about, but of the iPad, is Slaying Mr. Right by Hope Ford. This is book 1 in the Curves for Christmas. I got this for free earlier this month, and I needed a short read. So I gave this 3 out of 5 stars. This follows Candy and Kane, and Candy is at a tree farm, and she runs into Kane, who is like the operator of the tree farm, and it's their story. Instant love, alpha, if you're a fan. And then those are all the Kindle books I read. Then I read Camp Hardwood by Alexa Riley. This is the complete series, so this has 4 novellas in it. So the first one is Married in the Mountains, and that was a reread for me. That follows Honey and Ford, and they are the owners of Camp Hardwood, and it's their story. I gave it 3 out of 5 stars, as I said, and yeah. Then the second book in this bind up is Rescued by the Ranger. This follows Zora and Moose. Also a reread. I gave that 4 out of 5 stars. And Moose is like the ranger of the camp. He helps Ford and Honey make sure all the security, everything is good on the camp. And one day, Zara, who is 18 and one of the camp's guests, she decides to go on a trail and she gets lost, and then Moose has to go and find her. So, yes. Then we have Summertime Sneak Out, which is the third book, which follows Tia and Van. Van is Ford and Honey's son, and Tia is a cook employee. She works in one of the kitchens in the camp, and it's Tia's and Van's. And then the fourth and final book is Secret Baby I Can't. This one follows Piper and Hulk, and Hawk, not Hulk, sorry, Hawk. And that was my favorite book in the series. I gave that 4 out of 5 stars. And Piper is an employee at Camp Hardwood, and you meet her in the first book. And she shows up pregnant and doesn't know what to do. Is trying to escape her. So overall, I give this book 4 out of 5 stars. And then the last book I read was The Marriage Game by Sarah Desai. If I remember from the audiobook, which I listened to this on audio, this is the first book by this author that I've read. I gave this 3 out of 5 stars. This follows Layla, who just moves back to San Francisco from New York after a bad breakup. And she wants to start her own company. And her father, her parents own a Indian restaurant, and they have a office space up above the restaurant, and he offers her to use it, but he already rented it out to Sam, and it's their story, so you get enemies to lovers, a little bit office place romance, but and then something happens to her dad, and he actually set out a resume to a lot of dating websites for his daughter, and it's cute. I gave this 3 out of 5 stars. I enjoyed it. And those are all of the books I read. And yeah, as I said, I read a lot, and I'm really happy with what I read. And yeah, I'm also going to be changing my upload schedules. It was Sunday or Tuesday, Thursday, but I think I'm going to do Monday for the weekly wrap-ups, and then Wednesday and Friday. But I don't know if I'll post on Wednesday and Friday or just one or the other. But I think that will work better for me personally, because a lot of the times I've been putting the weekly wrap up on Monday anyways. So yes, I think Monday is going to be better for the weekly wrap ups, and then either Wednesday or Friday you'll get a video. So yes, if you've read any of these, what did you think of them, and how well did you guys do the last 2 weeks? And I'll see you guys later. Bye.